Today we read about sound of class 8. We live in a world full of sounds. Sounds and music are regular part of our everyday sensory experience. We hear sound from various sources: humans, birds, animals, vehicles, machines, television sets, music system, and so on. We communicate with one another by speaking, hearing, and replying through speaking. Sound indeed plays a very important role in our life. Since recognizes sound as an important and essential part of nature, it is important therefore to try to understand its various features and properties. The basic concepts concerning sound are the the basic concept concerning sound are the causes of generation of sound, reasons for differences in sounds from different sources, mechanism of propagation of sound from one place to another, and mechanism of hearing of sound by the human ears. So, what do you mean by sound? Sound is a form of energy. Sound is a form of energy which produces the sensation of hearing in our ears. We are all familiar with different forms of energy like mechanical energy, heat energy, and so on. We also know that one form of energy can be converted into another form. When we clap our hands, a sound is produced. Vibration as the basic cause of all sounds. Now, listen about vibrations. Vibrations can be thought of as to and fro or back and forth motion of a given object. In some cases, the extent of vibrations of a source may be so very small that it may not be possible to detect them. Vibrations are easily seen to be produced by drums, bells, strings of guitar, and so on. As human beings, we are all fond of hearing the sound of our family members, friends, neighbors, and of course, great singers. So, how do we humans produce sound? What vibrates in our body system that helps every one of us to produce our characteristic sound? It is the voice box, or it is known as larynx of the human body system that helps us to produce sound. The voice box has two vocal cords stretched across it. They are stretched across the voice box in such a way that there is a narrow gap or slit between them. Air can pass through this slit. The lungs force air through the slit between the vocal cords, and this makes them vibrate and produce sound. The human body has muscles attached to the vocal cords. These muscles can pull the attached ligaments and make the vocal cords tighter or loosened up and thinner or thicker. These changes in the vocal cord help to change the pitch of the sound produced and make it shriller or flatter. There are differences in the size, tautness, and thickness of vocal cords in men, women, and children. This difference results in each group having a characteristic sound of its own. The vibration produced by our vocal cords get converted into speech with the help of the tongue, the nose, and the lips. Speech is the production of that sound that has a definite and clear meaning for us. Sounds produced by animals. Our earth has an amazingly large variety of birds and animals living on it. There are endless varieties of sound produced by them. Some of them are very pleasant to our ears, others are not so pleasant, while some of them are definitely unpleasant. Different types of birds and animals also different mechanisms. Like human beings, there are quite a few animals that produce sound by means of vocal cords. When dogs bark, cats mew, horses neigh, lions roar or cows moo, they are all using their vocal cords. Birds have a ring cartilage called syrinx in their windpipe. They use it in their voice box to produce their characteristic sounds. This characteristic sound is a jarring or unpleasant one in case of birds like the crow, but it is a pleasant and soothing one in case of birds like the quail, parrot, and myna. Insects like mosquitoes and bees make their characteristic sounds by vibrating their wings rapidly. The more rapid the vibration of their wings, the higher is the pitch of the sound produced by them. Frogs, while croaking, are known to pop their vocal sacs of their throats like a balloon. Additional inflation of their throat helps them to make their croaking louder. We thus realize that our world of sound is a really diverse and amazing one. Bees, when returning to their hive, are loaded with honey and therefore heavier. They then vibrate their wings less rapidly compared to the case when they are on their way for collecting honey. This difference in the pitch of their buzzing sound helps trained persons to decide whether the bees are returning back to their hive or are on their way to collect honey. In our next class, we read about propagation of sound.